Why put yourself through the frustration of going musky fishing solo? I've done a lot of solo fishing over the years. A couple reasons. One, because you don't always have a partner to go. And two, I enjoy that challenge. And anybody who's done any kind of solo musky fishing knows how challenging it can be. A few years ago, before I really started filming for the channel, I had a 15 or 16 minute period up on Cedar Lake where I got 3 muskies back to back to back solo fishing. It was just one of those nights, and I had lost one just prior to that. And I had some video clips on my phone of just getting the fish out of the bag. It's moments like that that are super special. There's just something, it's like primal about solo fishing for muskie. When you get one in the net, it just feels so good because you had to do everything to get that fish. But let me tell you, it's easy to go from hero to zero and zero to hero when you're solo musky fishing, because so many things can happen. We've had fish wrap up on the outside of the net where I've tried to struggle, you lose them. It's just one of those things that happen. This trip out, I wasn't actually going to fish. I was just going to take my boat out and get some pictures of it so I could list it for sale. And you guys have kind of seen the last ride of the Basscat. That video's up here. And I had taken these pictures and I was like, well, I'm going to go out for an hour or two. I had some time to kill anyway. So I headed out, and the first spot that I stopped at, or the first couple spots I stopped at, were open water reefs, which are typically pretty easy to fish solo because you don't have a lot of stuff that you're going to snag into. You purposely keep yourself kind of out of trouble when you're solo because you don't have a partner to help you if you do get snagged or you get a fish and it gets caught up in the rocks or the timber or what have you. So this first fish you guys are going to see, I'm out on an open water reef and it kind of catches me by surprise. Let's go check out that fish. We'll come back and I want to show you how we break down a reef like this. Okay guys, I'm fishing solo tonight and I'm out on a big open water reef and I got a nice little tiger here. It spun around, hit out, spun around, and I got him in the 8. So I'll get him out and we'll have a look at him. Hey everybody, Glenn McDonald here, 54 Bust. I have a nice little tiger muskie in the net, and because I'm fishing solo, it's hard to hold the net, do all the stuff you have to do, but because I got the net buddy right here, the net's hands free. So I'm gonna get this tiger unhooked and I'll let you guys have a look. All right, I got him free. It's not a real big tiger, but they're so aggressive. Like I say guys, he hit out, spun around, and I got him 8 on the blade with no name. Okay, we're coming into prime time. Let's see if we can get another one solo here guys. Really cool stuff. All right, guys, really cool little tiger, and like I say, it kind of took me by surprise. It kind of bumped the bait, and then it rolled around in the 8. I got it to stick on the outside of the 8, and this here is like classic open water stuff you're going to see up in Canada all over the place. There's really no land structure anywhere around this. This is like classic mid-lake kind of deep water reef. Only thing I didn't put on here, which I should put, is the depths all the way around this are like 30 plus feet on all sides. It's like over 30 feet, especially this side. It gets down into a deeper trough. So it's really deep water and it just rises up. And this reef is actually really big. this is kind of out of context just for the sake of this paper and showing you guys. And what I do on a spot like this is, because I have lake current rolling across this way and didn't really have a lot of wind that day, so it's not really beneficial to show you guys the wind, but the lake current's pushing against here. And like we always do, we always cast out of the port side, and there's my boat position kind of rolling around it. And because I'm coming from this direction of the lake, pulling up on it, I started right here and I kind of worked my way around and actually moved a fish somewhere around, gonna say around that 4 to 8 foot transition off this side. That fish kind of rolled up, took one look and just rolled off. And I actually seen it on the live scope just turn and go right back up to structure, which is what they do a lot, unfortunately. And I continued all the way around, and I had my boat sitting probably in about 18 feet, and I was casting up, and I'm not trying to hit the 4 or 3 foot top edge of this. I'm trying to hit that kind of 8 to 12 foot break line. And again, because the current's going this way, the fish are going to sit. How will I do this here? The fish are going to sit looking up current in most cases. So when I cast my bait down here and I start to pull my bait back this way, now that bait is coming into the face of a muskie, and it almost always works better when you bring that bait the direction of the lake current or the wind and you bring it into the muskie's face, as opposed to casting beside it and it kind of going by them. They're not as inclined to jump up on that bait as when it comes just past their face and they can see it for a little bit longer distance. That fish followed in, bumped the bait, almost took the bait out of the water, spun around in the 8, and we got it. Really cool little tiger muskie. Unfortunately, everything doesn't always go right. In this next clip, I'm going on the same type of structure, an open water reef. It's not set up quite this shallow, but very similar. I'm running my boat around the edge of it, and you guys are going to see that I hook a fish way out from the boat. I got lots of time to get my net ready. And I'm going to run the clip, and you're going to hear there's another boat going by, and you can hear that they say, oh, he's got one. And I got one, and you're going to see that I put my thumbs up to them, and that's not where things go wrong here. So just so you guys know, that wasn't really the mistake. I made one other mistake. Let's watch the clip, and we'll come back. All right, guys, so I made a pretty common mistake here, not only for fishing solo, but fishing with a partner. I failed to keep pressure on this fish when the fish was going across the front of my body, and it turned and it started going back the other way. I'm fiddling with the net, and what I should have did is I should have got control of the fish, seen where the fish was, seen how well it was hooked, and then made my final move with the net. I was being a little bit too cocky because I'd already caught one. That's on me. That's my mistake. And I think if I could go back and redo this, because this fish was staying low, I'm going to say it was a bigger fish or another nice tiger. This is a kind of known tiger fishing spot. I would have just kind of brought that fish up till I seen where it was, how it was hooked, and then knowing I had the net at the side of the boat, I would have made my final play. But you can almost see as that fish is coming back around, I just lose tension on it. And there's a lot of things I coulda, shoulda, woulda did. It's on me. I made a mental mistake. I got a little bit cocky in that situation because I had caught one. And that's just a mistake that you just don't want to be making. And I didn't really get upset at myself. I knew right away what I did. There's just nothing you can do about it in that situation. The fish is off, it's gone. There's nothing I can do. And I fished a couple other spots and I moved a couple other fish, but no hookups. So the big takeaway there for me is treat every fish like it's the only one you're going to catch that day. And just because you caught one or caught two doesn't mean you're going to catch this one, even if it's hooked up. So the big takeaway on spots like this is something I talked about in a video last year. Check out the link right here where I talk about how a lot of people, us included, do this wrong, and we don't fish deep enough. We don't stay off a structure, and we just want to roll up on spots. And until next time, 54 Bust is out of here. I'll catch you guys out on the water later.